everybody. Welcome again to a wonderful adventure that's waiting for you with Speak Up and Empower with Real Talk Travel. And are we anxious to go? There's some people traveling already, and we're just biting at the top, chomping at the bit, I should say. You're ready to go. We got a wonderful special guest with us, Tony Perdomo, and he's with Exodus Travel, and we are going to go to a fabulous country that everybody should be putting on their travel wish list and wanting to book today to get there. And Tony, where is our adventure going to take us?
I don't know, Susan. I'm just going to press enter on my computer, see what happens. I don't know what is going to show up. Let's find out. So what we have here is, of course, one of the most fabulous countries that I think anybody that is thinking about going will agree with me that I've been a few times, is Costa Rica, one of the most fabulous countries I've ever visited in my life. We're going to talk today a little bit about Exodus Travels, what it is that we're doing, why this kind of travel is going to be in such high demand once we're allowed to travel, which is great. But right now, enough of me talking, just have a view on the fact that this is all happening in one country. From, of course, Costa Rica is home to 5% of the world's biodiversity, which is great. Both oceans, both Pacific and Atlantic or the Caribbean, are all there for you. Volcanoes, adventure, retreats, all soul-feeding kind of trips and adventures are all held in Costa Rica, which is quite nice. And in a very peaceful country. Let me be honest. I am from Central America myself, and Costa Rica is the most peaceful country. No army, which is quite nice. What country does not have an army? Well, Costa Rica is one of them, right? So the people are absolutely very friendly, very beautiful. And what I really love about Costa Rica, of course, is the fact that it's a very, very sustainable country itself, right? So I led tours in Costa Rica for a while when I was living there as well. And something, just want to tell you right now, something that was to do on a week I did last Thursday for Earth Day, go walk around with a garbage bag and collect garbage. That was a thing that was people just do on a weekend. We go for a little walk, bring a bag, and it's custom. So anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about today is Exodus Travels. But of course, there's so much more out there than just simply one country. And Susan, should we just talk or what?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get through it. Yeah, just before you carry on, I apologize to Speak Up and Empower, which is an online community that's filled with experts, and they all got something important to say. And I'm with Real Talk Travel, and Tony's helping me with that because our adventure is in Costa Rica. So let's get this rolling, Tony.
Let's do it. Thank you for that, Susan. Thanks again for having me here. Well, with Exodus, this footage here is looking not as HD as the Costa Rica video, right? Well, it's because this was filmed 47 years ago on our first ever trip, first truck. That's a true story right there. That went from London all the way to Afghanistan in 1974 and went all the way across the Himalayas. So imagine that kind of adventure, right? Now, the greatest thing about this kind of travel that we do is the sense of adventure is still there, but obviously more comfortable stuff, right? Like no longer is, hey, do you think we're going to get there in 3 days on this trip? Like, I don't know. Let's find out. The roads are paved, right? But so the fact is that we're still doing small group adventure travel to over 100 countries, which is quite beautiful. So we got tons of happy clients that go with us year after year. Last year was a bit different. This year might be too. But, once travel opens up again, you'll see that the age, I don't know if you agree with me or not, Susan, but the age of the client that used to just want to go away for the sake of going away, click enter, go on a flight, I'm out of here tomorrow, just because I could go away, is no longer going to be the same, because I think the rise of a conscious travel, one who's thinking, I really want to do the bucket list destinations. I really want to
absolutely
that enrich me, and that, as opposed to like having to hear it from my partner for another year. Why didn't we go on that trip? Because I like my other things instead. So it's time to get a little bit out of our comfort zone. So let's talk about this today. So in terms of Exodus, everything we do is with responsible travel in our heads, right? Which is quite beautiful. So that means we're making sure that our visits to places like Costa Rica, Albania, Japan, Peru, wow, you name it. Is our visit benefiting the place? What about the people? What about the planet? Which is why we have a great foundation here. And I'm actually just going to play a little video here to show you what we did last year. Remember, we had 3 months of travel, but we still kept our promise of what we're going to do to help, you know, the places that we visit, the people, and of course the planet, right? So have a look at this wonderful video here, Susan, and everybody tuning in live across the wonderful world.
Look at all that, feeding hot meals for kids. That's amazing. Yes.
That's right. And the first one was the female porters over in Kilimanjaro, which, you know, 10 years ago, there were 0 women in the workforce, 0. Right. And we said, that's not fair. So how can we get women involved? So we sponsor a school, English school, where they can go and learn English and then go become porters, eventually become assistant guides and then guides. So 30 female porters we are paying for, we're sponsoring to make sure they have a better life for themselves and their family. Again, we could just go to a destination, hopefully recycle, not throw our cigarettes out the window.
Yes.
Hey, I did good. Check out my pictures. But what really are we doing? So that's why anybody watching, just like ask questions, you know, talk to Susan, ask anybody out there. It's like, how are you being responsible? That's the most important thing. And I'm going to show you that throughout this presentation. So small group adventure travel, what does that mean, Susan? What does that mean, right? So small group, we're looking about 10 to 12 people in a maximum group size of 16. So that kind of small environment, which is very appealing in the post-COVID world, right? And our average age for us is 53 because people are looking for these type of experiences. Now, so you know who goes on our trip. Here's Andrea Bolanos, who's one of our Costa Rican guides, and she does a lot of our cycling trips, which is one of the styles that we have. Now, the leaders that we get are, we're talking Egyptologists, marine biologists, international mountain leaders, you know, well-famed cyclists, and a few more well-awarded guides that we have are all the ones that are going to give you so much passion about their country and so on. They're not just people that are going to say, hey, listen, my job's to get you from A to B. Have fun for the next 2 days, okay? Don't call me. Here's my WhatsApp in case you need me. That doesn't work. That doesn't work with us. We want to make sure that, hey, listen, let's hang out today because we got something included. Tomorrow we got a free day and so on. So that's the beautiful thing about you're in good hands wherever you go in these small groups, right? It's not one of those trips where halfway through it, I don't know if you've been in this situation, but halfway through a trip, you're like, you've been on my tour the whole time. I didn't notice. There's 40 of us here. I can't tell who's who on the trip, right? Not like that at all. A much more setting. That's just what I'm saying, right? So, and also then now is responsible travel. Let's go. What nights? So we're choosing locally owned accommodation, number one, and of course accommodation that hires local people. That's the most important thing, and that ranges anything from 3 to 5-star hotels, Bedouin camps, inns, bed and breakfast, converted farmhouses. You know, and most importantly, that little video coming up right now. This is our rainforest lodge in Costa Rica, which is a place that we have helped and through donations and so on for over 20 years. And together we have helped purchase 14,000 hectares of forest and jungles. So then it doesn't get turned into toothpicks, right? So that's a really good thing as well. So when we go on our trips ourselves, our staff, we ask, okay, so where are you using plastic here? Like, oh, we put plastic around our pillows. Why? Get rid of that. We don't want that. So we always give tips and ways, you know, much better benefit the planet. That's what I'm saying. So again, look at this. So 14,000 hectares of jungle, which is nice, which is approximately 3 times 3 of Manhattans down in New York. So just to give you an idea of the area, right? So again, jungle lodges. Look at this. Ice hotels, alpine lodges.
Beautiful. Yeah.
These are all phenomenal places that we love. Really,
and you know what, Tony, what I like especially is the fact that the money is staying in the country. So Beautiful. It's really helping the individual people that's right there locally. And for us to mingle with them, that's amazing. That's totally.
Absolutely. So for example, here, this is a converted farmhouse that we use over in Tuscany. And you'll meet the owners, and anybody watching this, you know, if you own your own business, how do you treat your clients when they walk into the door? So how do you think you're going to be treated when you walk in their doors? That's what I'm saying, right? And you raised a really good point, Susan, because we want to make, like, as much as we love chains and sit in a nice 5-star hotel, we offer those trips. We're not going to support a foreign chain. We want to support local hotels. If it's a local chain of hotels within that country. Mm-hmm. So that's it. So that's a pretty background about us and why we think the way we think, and why I know for a fact, because of the rise of the conscious traveler, that's trademark patent pending. Okay. I'm going to say this now. Be asking you, like, I don't want to do just something just for the sake of going. If you're still going to the same resort that everyone remembers you and 5 years and so on, that's fine. But inside you, perhaps you want to consider doing something that really could enrich your your heart, right? So all the experiences that we have, as Susan will tell you this, they all range from a level 1, super easy stuff. And then we do have some active stuff too, right? Like cycling and walking, where they tend to be, depends. Like, have you been training for 5 years? Then we have a trip for you, right? So you got a challenge? We got them. So I'll talk about the soft adventure things that are very much more easier, let's call it, right? So for example, if you want to go somewhere like Egypt and you want to go on a Nile cruise, this is a price for one person, Canadian dollars, to go on these trips. So this is a 8-night trip, which is quite nice. If you want to go to Jordan, Israel, or even Greece, for example, how these trips run is you'll have a local guide with you on these cultural trips where you get driven around in a private van. And then we're going to go see the Pantheon. We'll go see one of the highlights for today. And then tonight, if you want to come with us on a group dinner, it's optional. You don't have to. If you want to do your thing with your partner, go ahead. If you want to hang out with a group, hey, we're pretty fun this week. Come and hang out with us, right? So that's the gorgeous thing about our trips, is that it's not like we have to hang out all the time. If something's included, like going to Agrigento or going to any of these UNESCO World Heritage sites, you should come because you paid for it, right? On your free time, do what you want to do, right? So this is like cultural trips, right? But within the cultural program, we also have some foodie trips, which is quite nice. And of course, going to Sicily, Italy. Obviously, you're gonna have some really good, delicious meals. But the important thing is that you're also doing cooking classes, and you're also going to be doing some great tastings and what have you, because it's a food theme. And in fact, in our Sicily tour here, we go to Trapani, and we have a hands-on cooking course with a local chef, where we also go to the market and we pick up things that I don't even know how to pronounce this. How do you say this? We pick it up, we come back, we wash it, we cook it, and then take that experience home. Adventure doesn't mean that crazy stuff, Susan. I know what people are thinking. Like, is everybody wearing a helmet? Is everybody? Are you all like transferring between hotels on kayaks, bungee jumping to dinner, and all that fun stuff? Like, no, we're not doing that. It's all about experiences. What do you want to experience? For example, if you go to Costa Rica, what do you want to experience? Look at this gorgeous toucan right here. And look at this, for example. So this is the trip that you're talking about, Susan. And I tell you this is a phenomenal one, because when it comes to the Costa Rica adventure or experience, look at this. From San Jose, the main capital. And the wonderful thing about our trips is this. Let's say you want to go a couple of days before and do your own thing, what have you. We'll pick you up at the airport anytime. Doesn't matter. It's like whether you arrive at 11 in the morning, 11 p.m., we'll pick you up, take you to our hotel. You don't have to worry about that for the beginning of our trip, and we'll take you back to your to the airport after that when the trip's finished, right? So from San Jose, we're gonna head over to Tortuguero, the Caribbean Sea, and of course, this is where you're gonna see 4 or 5 different types of turtles, depending on the time of the year that you go, whether it's green or turtleback, depends on the time again, right? But I will tell you this from my experience in Tortuguero, Susan. Like, we were on a boat, and we're not traveling 2 miles an hour. We're having a good time. And to this day, I have been blessed with visiting many countries and being with many guides. To this day, I still tell the same story. These guys in Tortuguero, I have no idea what they eat, because their bionic eyes are incredible. They're steering the boat. They're, hey, sir, you lost your wallet. Yeah, but over there you have a bird behind the tree and the branch. I'm like, what are you looking at? I don't see anything. But meanwhile, we're on a boat. Like, yeah, it's over there. Look and see, you can see it. And they spot the birds. Like, I'm telling you, if anybody has been, you know what I'm talking about. They're phenomenal. These guys. They're not just sitting there with binoculars. They're having the boat, which is insane, which is so great. So in Tortuguero, you get that away. Everything in Costa Rica has been 2-3 hours driving. Okay, I just want to let you know that's the way it is. Now you go to Tortuguero, but from the one coast, you then go through the middle of the country, which is, of course, where the different part of the adventures kicks off, whether you're going to Monteverde, the Cloud Forest, or you're going to the Arenal or La Fortuna volcano for the adventure capital of Central America by far. Whitewater rafting, tubing, of course, more zip lining. I do believe they also had one of those bungee jumping, but I'm not entirely sure. But anything you can think of, from bikes to jeeps to horseback riding, like, it's all there. And also thermal pools, which is quite nice. So after a nice big day of, going crazy out in the you kind of want to sit back in this, and this is one hotel that has 14 different thermal pools, and you start at the very top because, well, you walk up the stairs, right? And it's piping hot out there, Susan. But as you move from pool to pool, all within the same area, it cools down, and there's some bars within the thermal pool. So it could be good or also very dangerous, right? But what I will say to you is that you're going on this trip, it's 2 weeks long. We have other options. So for me to show you is you're going to go from one coast to the other coast. And you can see here, we don't just do the, I guess, the typical itinerary. We also go to places like Saraquipi, and we go to places like Carrillo and down by the Gulf of Nicoya, as you can see here. So it's just very different, and we can go see some dolphins. And this is what we call a cultural trip, where we can't escape the fact that you're going to go see wildlife because it's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. So that's that boat right there on the top right. That was my trip that I did, and this is us going through Tortuguero. So imagine on a canoe over there. How do you see this stuff? I don't see anything. Where's the zoom button here, Susan? Let me see this. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane, right? So of course the zip lining, and of course the beautiful waterfalls, because it is, man, it's water, it's Costa Rica, beautiful weather all around. And of course we can't talk about all these wonderful places without mentioning a little bit about the food. Of course, that's the typical Costa Rican meal right there: rice and beans with you name it. What do you want? You want fish, you want chicken, you want you name it. And for those who are vegetarian and vegans and stuff like that, you'll be fine. I mean, it's not going to be vegan restaurants all around, but you will have options where you can skip the meat and so on. I am a vegetarian vegan myself, so I will tell you it's beautiful, right? So that's one style of soft adventure. We also have wildlife, and of course, this is what people are going to be talking about. Like, I need to go and see the big items that really enrich my soul, right? So we've actually partnered up with the African Wildlife Foundation. So this is we have 4 trips running. If they don't run this year, they'll run next year. Okay, simple as that. But this Wildlife Foundation, they're ones that are preserving the animals, the land, of course, and of course the communities that are around. So then they don't feel like, well, if we can't poach, how are we supposed to survive? So they also empower the community, so they don't have to rely on poaching, which is quite beautiful, right? So great stuff. And of course, part of the conservation we do, because we can do all this talking. Oh yeah, we're sustainable. We do this, we do this, we do this, and then what else do you guys do? Look at this. This is part of our, making sure that the tigers don't go extinct. And there's a top right-hand corner. Do you see? Is that a person with a tiger jumping on them? It's not. This is one of our resident photographers who has run 5 marathons in one season. So 4 marathons in a row every weekend. Imagine this season. Yeah. 4 weekends, 4 marathons with a tiger suit that weighed 15 to 20 kilos just to raise awareness about the tiger itself. So
that's pretty cool. Yeah. That's
pretty cool. Yeah. I've never run a marathon. I can't imagine running with a tiger costume on my back. Yeah. But hey, you know what? Good for you. Paul Goldstein, thank you so much for that. So, depending on what wildlife experience you want, whether you're going to Africa, of course, we've seen the Big 5, the Ugly 5, the Forgotten 5, you name it. We have trips where you can go glamping. Look at this glamping action right now, Susan. Way better than my backyard. Way better than my backyard. Wow. I know that, right? Yeah. And then from Africa to Antarctica right now. So, of course, these are big bucket list destinations that people are talking about. I know there's a few people there's like, Ruth, they're talking about Antarctica. Get over here. Come on. Because you want to go. You've been talking about this for years. And you've been saying, one day we're going to go. So look at the ship experience you could have. And of course, it's a wildlife trip. So you're going to be doing some really phenomenal wildlife viewing. But before that, you'll have the activities. Look at those activities you can do. That little polar bear dip that everybody talks about. You want to talk about, hey, I was tired one day and then somebody just pushed me in cold water. Oh, you're wide awake. That's way better than caffeine. I know that. So it's beautiful, right? So these are the items that people are talking about. And of course, wildlife. Look at this. You cannot beat that at all. And here's the great thing for us as well. We're not here to push you got to book. No, you got to book now. But I just want you to consider the fact that right now there's a phenomenal promo that we have where you can get up to, let's say, 45% off on some trips for Antarctica for this season. Next season, even 2023, including the Arctic. So just keep that in mind, right? And of course, big bucket items like I was telling you about, going to Masai Mara, the Galapagos, you name it. There's so much. But we're here to talk to you about Costa Rica. And of course, I said 5% of the world's biodiversity is in one tiny little country. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that? Yeah. So we have a lot of trips, actually 3 of them that are all wildlife themed, just for Costa Rica alone. Now you see the itinerary here is a little bit different than the previous one that I showed you. So we're going to one coastline, the Caribbean, the Tortuguero, which is nice, and then back to La Fortuna, Monteverde, and this is a classic itinerary, right? Of course, which is quite nice. But the great thing about this one is it's all about the wildlife, from those capuchin monkeys that you'll see. Hopefully, you'll get to see some sloths that move like this. That's fast forwarding. Yeah. That's fast forwarding. Like I'm going really, really fast on this video for them. To, of course, to see the toucans, and if you're so lucky to see the quetzal, a bird with a long tail that is on the cover of the Guatemalan quetzal currency, you go spot them in Monteverde. And Monteverde, for anybody that's a bird watcher, we got some great things for you, okay? Because that cloud forest in Monteverde is like, it's so gorgeous, right? So 3 wildlife trips for you to choose from. I showed you the one on the bottom right, where you can see it's a lot smaller, 8 days. It covers the highlights, or quote unquote the best of Costa Rica. But let's be honest, Susan, the last time you had airplane food, I believe, was 2019, correct?
Yeah.
Same here. So when you're gonna go away, I hope you don't go away for just for a week and come back. It's like, oh, I'm really homesick. I'm like, no, go take off for a week, go for 2 weeks. The 2 trips above are 2 weeks long. And of course, with chatting with Susan right now, you can say, look, I want to do this trip for 2 weeks, and then can I have 3 days on a different island somewhere, or a stopover, or whatever. And that's why stick with her. She has all the answers to everything that you want. But if you are a bird watcher, I brought this up for a reason, because we have this one. Remember that there was a little press talk about me, the guides, and how wonderful they were. And there was Andrea on her bike. Look at the guy right here, one of our guys, Johnny Villalobos. And he won, look at in 2019, Wanderlust magazine, a massive travel magazine over in the UK. He won the top conservation guide award for the entire world. For the entire world, okay? And he leads our trips, and he does a lot of the bird watching departures is himself. So you're getting quality here. You're getting quality leaders. Again, not just somebody like, hey, I'll see you in a couple days, okay? See you later. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all, right? So I don't know why they do that. But from cultural to wildlife, of course, maybe your family is a lot nicer outside of Canada. If so, look at this. We have a great Costa Rican family trip, which is quite nice. And we're not doing activities that are just fun for the young ones and us parents sitting around like, I should have brought 2 Netflix accounts, right? No. We're going to during the day for you as well. They can make sure that the adults have fun, the kids have fun, and these family trips are all designed by people with kids. Idiot, right? And again, this is a great, and the minimum age for this one is 9, which is nice. So 9 to 12, but anybody under 16. On the family trips is from 9 to 16. On regular tours that are not family themed, minimum age tends to be 16. So just keep that in mind. But look at this awesome thing at the very bottom, which I'm saying, flexible itinerary. So we are going to do one thing, tomorrow, which is included, but then we're going to give you a day and a half for you to do what you want to do. So, because you never know, right? Kids, some days they rather go bowling than go and look at birds. I don't know.
Yes.
I've not met them. And if you're there, don't give yourself a thumbs up. I don't want to hear about it. But zip lining, whitewater rafting, chocolate tour, what? Going on a catamaran, like all this fun stuff, even going zip lining. Like it's a phenomenal little trip. The kids are going to be happy. You'll come back a happier family than ever, right? So whether it's in Costa Rica or Sri Lanka, Italy, Portugal, you name it, we have a lot of great family trips, right? But still with Exodus, we're still thinking we want to be adventurous, and what can we do? So we're doing small ships. Look at this one. Right now, we have a trip that's running right now, today, in the Maldives. And they're
open. They've never stopped.
They never stopped, exactly. So when we got that email, it's like, where's the block button? I don't want to see these pictures. It tore me up a little bit. I'm not going to kid you, but just to let you know, right? And if anybody out there is listening, if you're between the ages of 30 to 49, okay, I know somebody's yelling, hey, they're talking about me now, right? Have this phenomenal trip, Exodus Edits, where only people between 30 and 49 can go on this particular style. And we have this one here, the Edits, Rainforest and Restful Retreats. Now, Exodus, normally, we're not doing yoga, we're not doing surfing, no. But because these are edits, these are trips that are more adventurous for, those the young ones, eh? Maybe I fit in there, who knows? We do that so you can have a lot of first time things, which is going tubing, hiking, stand up paddling, you name it. Absolutely phenomenal trips here. So again, these are for people between the ages of 30 to 49. So really good for anybody that is thinking about doing something close to home too. Direct flights from here, Canada. You end up in San Jose, Costa Rica. You can go via the US if you like. It doesn't matter. There's lots of options here for you. So so we've done a lot of soft adventure kind of, and you saw the little mixed activity there with stand-up paddling and maybe doing a little bit of yoga and do a little bit of surfing and so on. Now we have a couple of active travel styles, one of them being walking. So we have some trips where most of our trips are point to point. We're doing 1 night here, 2 nights here, 1 night here. Hey, I'm seeing a lot of the country and region, right, Susan? Which is great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But you know how it is, Susan. I've heard people complain about the fact, like, why am I packing every 2 days? Where's my shoe? Have you seen my passport? Like, it's it's way too much for them, right? So we have this style also called center base, where you don't get to move and you stay put in the same one hotel. So it's like going to a resort, but not being bound to stick in the resort. Go explore together in a guided group. So walking the Greek islands is a point. 1 night here, 2 nights here, 3 different islands, 8 nights. I mean, you can't beat that. And the wonderful thing about Greece, of course, in this tour is if you've taken the Mediterranean cruise, you know you're going to be on the sea and you're going to walk 1,000 steps all the way to the top to get to the island. You're already on the top of the island. So great way for you to move, right? So again, from the Greek islands to also to Costa Rica, we have a walking tour, goes coast to coast. Look at the itinerary here, Susan, a lot different.
It's amazing, yes.
A lot more national parks, which is very different. And this is what I love about Exodus. Like, yes, let's go to San Jose, Arenal, of course. But this one here, we're not going to do the Monteverde, Manuel Antonio. We'll do something different. And that's why you go to the Rincón de la Vieja, Tenorio, Rio Celeste, all these wonderful national parks, and do a lot of exploration. And look at the number of kilometers or miles you're doing on a daily basis. This isn't 18-hour walking. This isn't those kind of trips. We're not, this isn't charity runs, right? These are like very, very calm kind of walking trips, right? And of course, center base, like I mentioned to you, like walking the Amalfi Coast, you spend the entire week in one hotel, which is the video playing right now, and you go visit the parties. Positano, Amalfi, Sorrento, Naples, Capri, bring it on.
It's so pretty there. Everybody's got to do that. Yes,
exactly. Yes. But instead of you going and stay with a party and everybody's loud and I can't get any sleep, we stay in a little village called right there. Susan, look at this, Bomerano. 600 people live there. 7,600. And this is the grandfather that runs this place as well. So that family feel is there for you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, what experience do you want that first time you get on a flight? Be honest with yourself, right? Because anybody can do getting away just for the sake of getting away. When you come back, do you feel empty? Do you feel full? You have to have those conversations with yourself and then talk to Susan, right? So from walking, and lastly, I'll mention this, guided cycling trips where we give you the bike and we give you a vehicle support, right? So in case those rice and beans or the, a little bit of Imperial beers got to you last night.
Yes.
Get on the van, right? We also have some e-bikes as well. So depending whether you're going to Europe or Asia, just give so there are options for 2 different fitness levels to be smiling together, right? Put it that way. But again, we're talking about sustainability, right, Susan? Because all I've heard so far is about these hotels, and that's where they sponsor. So, no, we do a lot more. Do you think we're giving you a case of Kirkland water, 24 bottles each every single day? Like, we're not doing that. We refill your water bottles all the time. So then we don't contribute to this ever useless plastic world that we live in. There's no right. So this is what I'm getting at. So whether you're going to the Dalmatian coast, which was my second last trip, I didn't even know where Croatia is anymore. It's been such a long time. Okay, so going to 2 different islands, starting in Split, finishing in Dubrovnik, aka King's Landing for all you.
It's so beautiful there. Yes, everybody.
Absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. So again, we ride our bikes, we get off our bikes, we ride our bikes, and so on. In Costa Rica itself, we have 1 trip that does just Costa Rica, okay? And look at the itinerary here, okay, Susan? A little bit different, right? We're going deep. We're going to Quito, Corcovado National Park, Osa Peninsula, which National Geographic named as one of the most diverse national parks they've ever seen in the world, which is incredible to hear that. Manuel Antonio, of course, which is famed for his capuchin face monkeys, and the fact there's a beach there. Like, hello. And if you get a chance, there is an airplane that was left there from the previous war with Nicaragua, where it got turned into a restaurant. So, hey, again,
cool. Yeah,
that's different things that you don't really know much about, right? So, and if you're saying, you know what, I like this passport, I want this passport to have all these different stamps. Look at this multi-country trip that we have, starting in Nicaragua through Costa Rica and finishing in Panama. Like,
that would be quite the trip. I think that would be stunning to be able.
That is a stunning trip, and of course, you know that Costa Rica is such a beautiful, beautiful country. And if you have a chance to do more, look at this one. So, if any cycling fans are there, do you want just Costa Rica or do you want 3 countries in one? It's your call. And lastly, we also have self-guided trips. We only run these in Europe, okay, whether you're walking or cycling. If you're cycling, we give you an app because you listen to it. Turn left. No, the other left. Off you go. Yeah. I know how people are, right? Trust me, that's how my parents. Okay. Anyways, what I'm saying is that when you're doing walking, we give you maps, we give you notes, make sure that you have all the support you need. We'll even transfer your luggage for you from A to B. And these are great for families too. So in case you're like me, you don't want to bring your kids in public because you might be a little bit embarrassed in 2021. No problem. These are self-guided trips. Nobody needs to hear about them. And come up along the way, and you're just taking care of them. That's it, right? So whether you're going to Amsterdam, to Brussels, imagine your job is to get on a bike, put your helmet on, pedal, listen to the app, leave your luggage at the hotel because we're going to pick it up and transfer it to the next hotel. What else do you want, right?
Yes.
Or walking. And look at that first word right there, Susan, gastronomic. So if you're the kind of person that like, look, I want to eat in 10 minutes because I need to go and watch the TV show. No, this is a gastronomic tour. You deserve better than that. It's a 2-hour slow cooked meal kind of time, right? So
wow.
And it's Italy. You're learning all about the king of wines, Barolo. Hello, you know what we're talking about. So is there a bottle of wine underneath you? Just say yes, okay?
Yes.
All I will say is like there's different experiences. So adventure isn't the crazy stuff. It can be like if you're talking going on a gastronomic tour in Italy and staying at a converted farmhouse, crazy. Then yes, we have crazy trips for you, but they're not really that crazy, right? So bottom line is we want to make sure that anybody that's listening right now, when you talk to Susan about us and Exodus and maybe these guys, maybe today I did a good job with my hair today, like it's an adventure like my haircut. Okay? Last choice haircuts brought to you by my barber at my bathroom. That's me, okay?
Yeah.
This right now, we want you to realize, hey, you can book with confidence because we're very flexible. Everybody's being very flexible. Like if something happens and within 3 weeks, oh, I cannot go because the country won't let me in, or I need to isolate because my neighbor, whatever, we can easily take care of you. And that's the book with confidence part right there. And then we want you to make sure that you are traveling with confidence. So we work with third-party companies all around the world to make sure, are the hotels safe? Yes. What about the group size? We keep them nice and small. Some trips, maximum people, 8, just to give you an idea, right? Also making sure that everybody, physically distanced. And that's why we know these kind of travel, small group adventure travel, whether you're guided or self-guided, is the next thing that's going to pick up. That's just what I'm thinking. That's just what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It's going to be small groups. Yes.
Absolutely. And the last thing is anybody is thinking about self-guided trips. Again, we're talking today about Costa Rica. Wonderful, wonderful place. But if for some reason you're thinking, you know what, I don't want to do Costa Rica. I'd rather go to Europe or I'd rather do something else. That's fine. We have this great promo, which of course Susan will have access to this. $150 off for anybody for any self-guided trips that we offer up to 2023. Do we have a 2024 date? Perhaps. Who knows? So Susan will give you that information. And that's pretty much it, Susan. So I am done with the wonderful talking. But Susan, take me away.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tony. I really, really appreciate that. It's great to know about Exodus and how you can book with them with confidence, the fact that they have small groups, which people can feel safe. And it's the experience that you're going to have. It's just not the travel. It's the experience and helping and being part of the culture, the people, the food, and just drinking all that landscape in and everything. And like with myself, I'm really highlighting Discover Costa Rica. And it's unbelievable to be able to go, if you've never gone to Costa Rica, to see, like Tony's mentioned, the wildlife, like the howler monkeys or the sloths. You won't get that unless you go to Costa Rica, or visit like the rainforest or that cloud forest, which is so unique that you got to go to Costa Rica to see. And what's included, like the breakfasts, 8 lunches, 6 dinners with that trip. That's 15 days, and combinations and transportation. Oh my goodness. It's an adventure. You definitely want to get your travel buddies and your bubble, and let's get that going. You probably have 8 friends that could really enjoy that adventure. So that's the key today. So thank you, Tony, again, so much for joining us and letting us know more about Exodus and what they provide, and how we really can have that experience. And special thanks to everybody joining me today. And hey, don't be shy about booking. You won't lose your money. You won't lose your deposit. If things have to happen, we can move the dates. And there's so much out there waiting for us. Travel is inspiring. Travel rejuvenates. And the fact is, you can give back when you go on these tours and experiences. You come home and you're feeling totally blessed that you were a part of that experience. So anyway, thanks again, Tony. Thanks everybody for joining today. We will have an adventure next Tuesday as well, so stay tuned. Please join me again. Talk to me about Costa Rica. Let's get going. It is happening. Travel is happening, and dates are being booked up. Get the date that you want now so that you could really enjoy that. So everybody, just keep smiling, stay safe, be happy. And don't forget, book now for your travel. It is going to happen soon in Canada. It is going like in other countries. And I can help people in other countries. So don't be shy. Contact me and I'll do that. And I'm just going to close this down so we can put Tony back up there and we'll say goodbye. And
beautiful.
Yeah. So have yourself a good day, Tony, and just be safe. And we will talk to you again sometime soon then.
Absolutely. As the Ticos say, pura vida, pure life. That's the way they say for anything, whether it's how's your health, pura vida. Hey, you lost money, pura vida. Like everything's pura vida. So please enjoy your time. Absolutely. So thank you once again for having me here. Okay, Suzanne.
Okay, take care then.
Okay, bye-bye.